How are you all doing? Sorry for it got a little soon into this to get the stream up. David has been in family court all day, and I have been a bit busy as well. David can't join us because, at least not in the beginning, but he sent a replacement. Hello,
Hi.
Jenny. Now,
Hello.
that's yeah. So I believe this is an improvement, but yeah. Welcome, Jamie. Welcome.
Well,
You are here instead of in the chat.
yeah.
Um, I'm
I
still
love
trying to.
I
Yeah,
love doing
still,
this live.
yeah. I'm still trying to pronounce chat, so it sounds natural.
I like the way you do it. Don't let them.
Thank you. Thank you. So David is looking hot today. Yeah, it's the new filter. He borrowed it from Sören.
Jamie Felter.
Yeah, and I see here Farrell is here, TX Jen, Excited Utterance, Brit Bat, Fedoreski, Iris, Broken Baker, Genitals. All our favorites Genitals is in the chat.
Yeah.
Christine, see here, Iris, I already said that, Jodi, and everybody. So thank you so much for showing up. Yes, this will be a 1 hour stream, so everybody can get to Solomon Anderson presenting the Denny motion on Viva Phrase.
I'm excited.
Yeah, because I want to see it too, Jamie wants to see it too, so we will be done in 1 hour. And so you have time to get over there to see it, but also a bit of a time so you can get to my trial stream that starts roughly 30 minutes after Viva Frey.
How's that? I've caught some of it.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've heard much about the podcast, so I was under the impression that the trial would be a lot more than it actually is. And now when we have heard from the sister, that was underwhelming for me, at least. I haven't heard any of her podcasts, but yeah, I was expecting more. But that's trial. Trial is not a podcast. Trial has rules, and then you also have that little thing called you are testifying under oath, which means no exaggerations and be very, very sure of what you are saying is the absolute truth. So that could be, or it could just be that much of the thing is or had been done pre-trial, and the judge said, nope, can't bring that up. But that's trials. Okay, but as I said, we need to get going so we can send you all off to Viva Frey and to my later on stream and stuff like that. Yes. Smash that like button on both my channel and David's channel. Please do that. And if you happen, just check if you're still subscribed. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes people, and that's not at my 20th Century Fox. Hey.
Cool.
Okay, but it is time to see.
That was good.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. And we start with silence. They are standing up, so they are waiting for jury. Moving ahead a bit.
The defendant and all counsel, Mr. Martinez.
The state calls Michael Galietti to stand.
Michael.
Right, it appears.
Can you spell your last name, please?
G-A-L-I-E-T-I.
Raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Michael Gelatin.
Walk right
is on
around
the
here and
stand.
have a seat.
Your name, sir?
Michael Galletti.
And who do you work for?
I work for the city of Cottonwood Heights Police Department.
And
The city of Cockmoat
I
Heights.
am a police officer.
how long have you worked with the Cottonwood Heights Police Department?
Oh, Cockwood Heights,
And what state is
not
Cottonwood
Cockwood Heights.
The state of Utah.
And prior to working with the Cottonwood Heights Police Department, did you work?
Hey,
for
the
another
expert
police
is in
department?
the chat.
Yes, I worked for the West Jordan Police Department.
What is going on?
And in June of 2008, what were your duties with the West Jordan Police
We have good
Department?
taste.
In June of 2008, I was an police officer for West Jordan Police Department. I was working community policing
He's working for
and
Cockroaches Heights.
patrol.
Yeah.
And as a patrol officer, did you ride a bike, a motorcycle, or a car? And this is in June.
Yes, I had a car with a bicycle on the back of the car.
And on June 5th of 2008, did you have occasion to be on duty?
Yes,
And on that particular day, sometime around noon, did you make a traffic stop?
yes.
What time was it? I know I said shortly after noon, but do you remember the exact time that the traffic stop was made?
Just afternoon, 12:02, 3.
And where was the traffic stop? Where did you make the traffic stop?
On Redwood Road in West Jordan, southbound.
And what kind of car did you stop?
As I recall, it was a white car, a Ford Focus.
And what was the reason that you stopped this Ford Focus?
I saw that the rear license plate on the car was mounted upside down.
And so you pulled the car over, and what happened? Explain to me.
I approached the vehicle as I normally do on a traffic stop, introduced myself and indicated the reason for the stop.
And the person who was the driver, who was that? The person.
I understand the driver is Jodi Arias.
Is this individual in court today?
Yes, I believe so.
And tell me where she is seated and what she is wearing.
Almost exact
As
same
you
thing
see,
as a
the
lawyer, as
defendant's
usual.
table wearing black on the far left.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the identification of the defendant?
Yes.
Sir, one of the things that you just told us was that, well, I was a patrol officer, and I assume that you made numerous traffic stops back then and even now, right?
Typically, yes.
And how is it that as you sit here today, which is many years later, that you remember this
And
particular
we have a
traffic
Facebook
stop?
crowd.
I've been a police officer more than 13 years, almost 14
one.
years,
Facebook.
and I've only made one stop for a vehicle with an upside down
And I
license
have a
plate.
mosquito
And that's this case here.
right in front of me.
This, yes.
So you go up to the defendant, Miss Arias, and do you speak with her, or what happens
Yeah,
after you tell her
doing
the
all right,
reason for the
doing all
stop?
right.
What did she say?
Some issues with
I
writing.
asked
but,
why the license
yeah,
plate
doing
was
good.
on upside down, and as I recall, she said, "Oh, my friends must be playing a joke on me."
Does Utah require the front license plate to be on also or not?
Yes, front and back.
What, do you remember the license plate on the car? Do you remember what state was involved?
As I recall, it was a California license plate.
And while you made the stop, did you see whether or not there were any other cars that may have been associated with that of the defendant stopping anywhere? Did you see another car there?
As I do recall, there was a second vehicle that pulled over after I stopped the white Ford Focus.
And where,
Bit of housekeeping now that the regulars are here and a few others. Neither me or David mind if you become members. There are members only stuff on my channel and the Discord nowadays, and so has David. Just saying. And that's the end of housekeeping. Thank you.
Did you pull over?
If I'm not mistaken, it was in front of the car that I stopped, the Ford Focus.
And what was the defendant's demeanor, the driver's demeanor, when you were talking to her about this license plate issue in the back?
Demeanor, pleasant. I think surprised that to learn that the license plate was improperly displayed.
And did she seem at all upset about anything at the time?
I didn't notice anything unusual other than a little surprised to find that her license plate was upside down.
And that's based on her comment that she told you about somebody's playing a joke on her.
Great Lakes Shipwrecks is here.
Did she indicate, or did you talk to her about what you wanted her to do with regard to the license plate?
Well, as I recall, everything appeared to be in order otherwise, and I just asked if she could correct that.
And about how long was this traffic stop?
I'd say it was fairly brief, 2-3 minutes.
And did you give her a citation for this?
I did not. It was just a verbal warning.
And this was on June 5th of 2008?
Yes.
That's a good recollection.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
So it's just to determine, yes, she was at that spot.
Good morning, officer.
Good morning.
Was there, when you made this traffic stop, you mentioned that it was you noticed the license plate was upside down, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there weren't any other traffic violations or anything else that would have motivated you to pull this car over? Is that correct?
None that I recall, no.
Okay. And have you reviewed your report recently? Would it have been documented in your report if there was any other reason?
No, I would not have made a written documentation. There would be a radio log created by the dispatch agency.
Okay. But you don't recall any other reason other than the license plate being upside down?
Just the license plate.
Okay. And that caught your attention?
Yes.
Do you remember where you were as in relation to this Ford Focus when this license plate caught your attention?
Well, what I recall is that I was southbound on Redwood Road, which is a main artery road in that community. And it's typical that I would be looking at license plates, looking for expired tags. So it would not be unusual to see something. I mean, it would not be unusual that I would initiate a stop on something as unusual as an upside down license plate.
I understand that, and maybe I should be more specific with my question. I was asking where you were located specifically in comparison to the Ford Focus. Were you in a lane behind it? Were you in a lane to the side of it? How did you make this observation of the license plate?
I can't say specifically. I was behind the Ford Focus. Redwood Road has probably 3 lanes in each direction and a center safety lane. I can't say which lane I was in, and I can't say today which lane the Ford Focus was in.
Okay. Do you remember there, you said it's a 3-lane road. Is that 3 on each side or is it 3 altogether?
3 southbound and 3 northbound.
Pretty busy road then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Several cars on the road?
Typically at that time of day, there would have been moderate traffic.
Okay. So this must have been something pretty eye-catching to you, right? Seeing
Yes.
this license plate upside down?
Yes,
It stood out to you amongst all this other traffic and all these other things on the road?
I'd say yes.
Okay. And as a matter of fact, you told us that that was the only stop of that nature you'd made in, I believe, 13 years of patrol. Is that correct?
I don't recall ever seeing a license plate displayed upside down on a car operating on the road.
Okay. And you also described Miss Arias's demeanor as being surprised.
But she said, oh, my friends must have be playing a trick on me.
Was there anything else about it other than what she said? Was she, anything about it? Was she look surprised that you pulled her over before you started conversing with her?
Not that I recall. She was pleasant. As I recall, it was a pleasant, positive exchange.
Okay. Well, thank you, officer.
Can you redirect?
Okay, that was,
In terms of whether or not the license plate stood out, wasn't it your job to look for that sort of thing back then?
Most certainly, yes. Improper display of a license plate would be a violation.
And you look at that as part of your job, right?
Yes.
And you were asked whether or not there was a report that was written in this case, and you answered, well, no, there's a traffic log. Remember saying something about that?
I believe I said a radio log.
Radio log? And what's the difference between a police report and a radio log?
A radio log is automatically created by the dispatch service, which is Valley Emergency Communications Center. And a police report is a report that I would write.
And Exhibit 3 is the radio log.
just establishing she was there at that point in time on the 5th. But there are a
Yes, as indicated.
lot
in
of
West Georgia.
questions for just
That is
establishing
the
that.
radio
That's the
log.
radio log I'm referencing, yes.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Any questions from the jury for this witness? I see no hands. Thank you. You may step down. The state may call its next witness.
The state calls Rafael Colombo.
Rafael Colombo. Skip ahead a bit. Yeah, he looks like a Rafael Colombo.
P-H-A-E-L. Joseph. Colombo, all O's.
Can move ahead a bit.
I do.
Thank you. Sir, right around you and have a seat, please.
What's your line of work? I'm a hitman for the mob.
Your name, sir? And where do you work, sir?
Devonzo Incorporated,
And what kind of business
He has no neck.
is that?
DBA Budget Rent-A-Car.
So are you the owner of this franchise, what it sounds like?
Devonzo, correct.
And what is it that, where is this place located? Do you have more than one or do you have many?
Municipal Airport in Redding, California.
And what is the business of this budget
So
place that you have?
another
Renting
foundational.
vehicles, either leisure
Yeah, she rented the car.
or business.
Maybe
And
something
how
about
long
the
have you had
mileage.
this budget rent-a-car business out in Reading?
Approximately 5 years.
And drawing your attention back to June 2nd of 2008,
Hi,
you have
it is
occasion
that.
to be working?
Yes.
How is it that the renting works? Just in theory, not as it applies to June 2nd. How does it work? When a person comes in?
There's a couple different ways. Either somebody will walk up unannounced and ask for a vehicle without a reservation, or they
Probably.
will call you on the phone and make a reservation, and or go on the website and make a reservation through one of the internet programs that offer rental cars.
And in order to rent a car, what is required? In other words, from the person? I understand that money will be eventually required, but what kind of identification? Is a credit card required? What is required?
21 and over with a major credit card, valid driver's license, and 25 and over. If you're under 25 years old, and between 21 and 25, you'll need a major credit card to rent a vehicle.
According
If you
to
are
photo
25
evidence,
and older, just,
there is no
valid
trace.
driver's license and a credit card.
Going back to June 2nd of 2008, did you have occasion to rent a car? And I'll show you exhibit number 235 and see if you recognize this particular item.
I do recognize it.
And were you the person
Yeah,
who
no,
actually
Jamie doesn't keep
was the
drapes, so,
owner associated with that?
and that's in
was.
evidence.
And is that a true and accurate copy of the car that you rented back on
Well,
June
at this
2nd
time, she
of
has been in jail
2008?
for a bit,
Time
so
was what,
maybe.
8:04 in the morning?
8:04 in the morning. This would be accurate.
All right, and is that the original? It looks like to be an original, is it, or is it just a copy?
Yeah,
This is
I
the
know.
original.
He's a bit of a butthole. I will ban him and
I'm reading
every
additional
other
exhibit
account
number
associated with
235.
him.
No objection.
235 is admitted.
So I'm going to take it out of its packaging so we can look at it. First of all, there's 3 sheets. Is this what is the paperwork that you keep that's associated with each rental?
Yes, we'll keep those in copies.
All right, let's take a look at the copy on top.
I wonder why he chose
First of
it.
all, there's the name here. Do you see that?
I do.
What's the name?
Jodi Arias.
Is that the person that rented this car?
Yes, sir.
Is that person who rented the car, is she in court today?
Yes, sir.
Tell me where she is seated and what she is wearing.
She's dark hair in the black on the left-hand side of the desk, right there, my left.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the identification of the defendant?
Yes.
With regard to this particular transaction, what was Miss Arias's demeanor when she came up to rent this car from you?
Very pleasant.
Go ahead.
She had phoned a few times before requesting a vehicle, and that'd be ready when she gets to the counter.
So she had actually called it in?
Yes, sir.
How do you know that she actually called it in?
She stated her name.
Okay, and you had answered the phone before, is
I
that?
did.
And when she called, did she request a specific car or just said, I need a car on this particular date and time?
Something dependable.
When she showed up there, was she alone or was she with somebody else?
I saw a gentleman.
So was it a guy that
the
was with her?
Yes, I'm not sure if it was with her or not, but
And when she was renting this car, why don't you tell us what happened, what you said, and what she said?
I had asked where she was going, and like I do with all my customers, to get familiar with them. So
What did
maybe
she
they might
say?
return. She was going to take a small, just go around town trip, nowhere big. She did not want a car that was loud in color.
For example, did you offer her a red car or not?
I did it first.
And what did she say when you offered her a red car?
She would rather have a lighter car,
Why?
lighter color.
Did she tell you why?
She did not.
So she wanted a car that was not red, and then what happened?
Again, I asked her a little bit about who she was, and she had mentioned she was single, but just coming around town. She was very pleasant to speak to, very friendly.
He sure is.
And she
Yeah, she opens up to.
or provided
many
the information
people.
in this document, correct?
Correct.
Well, do you remember her hair color back then?
It was blonde.
And so this information that's here, is that provided by the customer, in this case, Ms. Arias? The date that she rented it is right up here, right?
That would be the date rented, the June 2nd
At,
at 800 or a little over 804.
okay, and then it says due in. Do you see that right there?
Yes, I do.
I think we know what that means, but
Her time of arrival back to bring the car would have been June 2nd also at 8:15.
June 6th, is that?
Excuse me, June 6th, yes.
And is this car the type that has unlimited miles? In other words, a person can go anywhere they want? Or can you tell here?
I could probably tell. And it should be unlimited miles, yes.
Says that right
Yep,
there. correct?
unlimited.
So if it's unlimited miles, the reason you were asking her where she was going, was it because of the mileage issue or was it something else?
Certain vehicles that we get in might need an oil change in a certain, they're to be oil changed every so often.
Right.
And if not, we get penalized for letting them go over their preventive maintenance. So I'm always asking where they're going to find out what sort of vehicle I'm going to give them.
And there are these initials and there is a signature on this particular document, correct?
Yes, sir.
How long did this whole conversation or renting the car take?
Probably a little over 15 minutes.
And, well, let's look at it. What kind of car did you rent her?
White Ford Focus.
Were you there when the car was returned?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a white Ford Focus is probably the most anonymous car in existence.
Yeah.
And were you the person that checked the car in?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice anything unusual about the car when you were checking it in, this white Ford Focus?
I did.
Why don't you tell me what you noticed?
After the conversation that I had with her, I had thought she would be local miles. And in turn, the car had a little bit more miles than I thought on it for being local. So it struck me.
Let's look at Exhibit 237.001. How many miles are we talking about there that you saw?
The 1,925 miles it had leaving.
But you-
Miles in were 4,758.
But if you take a look up here, how many total
Total
miles?
miles driven 2,834, 2,834.
Did you talk to her about that?
I
At
thought
all?
it was very, very odd, and I did.
And what did she say?
I just decided to take a little bit longer trip.
And did she say where she went or anything?
She did not.
When the cars come back, do you just leave them like that? Do you send them somewhere to be cleaned? Exactly what is it that happens?
We have detailers that clean the vehicles.
Were you able to look at the car before the detailers got a hold of it?
I did myself.
Oh, so you actually cleaned it yourself then?
I didn't, but I go out there and usually do a walk around to make sure there's no rock chips, dents, scratches, and interiors.
And what did you notice about the inside of the car?
There were stains in the back seat.
And what was
And
the
a
color of the stains?
It appeared to be Kool-Aid.
Okay.
What kind of Kool-Aid?
And were those cleaned up?
I took it upon myself to go there and clean it.
How about anything in the front seat areas? Did you notice anything there?
I did.
What did you notice?
Same Kool-Aid stain, which I thought maybe she had kids in the vehicle,
Which seat had the Kool-Aid stains?
the passenger and the back seat in the middle.
And which the one had the larger of the stains, the front or the back?
The back.
And how about the floor mats? Did the car go out with floor mats?
They do.
And were all the floor mats there when it was returned?
They were not.
And is that the front and the back or just the front that we're missing?
All of them were missing.
That's
I
weird.
don't have any more questions. Thank you.
All
Cross-examination.
the doormats were missing. That's really weird.
And it was red Kool-Aid Was it red Kool-Aid? And
Morning,
we're-
sir.
One,
Want to make sure I understood you correctly. Are you the owner or the manager of this budget rent-a-car, or you may be both?
no, I do business as Budget. Budget has, I'm not an employee of Budgets. I don't work for Budget. I own Devonzo Inc., which we do business as.
Okay. So you're a franchise owner? of
Independent
Budget?
contractor
Okay. But you do business as a budget
as
rent-a-car?
Budget Rent-A-Car, but I have, like I said, there's nothing as far as me working for them.
Okay. I think I understand that. Are you familiar with the business practices of budget rent-a-car, then, having run one for a while?
Yes,
Okay. And how long have you run the budget rental car?
a little over 5 years.
Okay. And this is at the Reading Airport, correct? Reading, California?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Based on your experience and knowledge of the business practices with budget rent-a-car, do you know, do they associate with or contract with any companies like orbitz.com or some of these search engines that let you look for, compare rental car prices throughout companies?
Yes, sir.
They do that?
Yes.
Okay. And are you aware when you get the car rental, whether or not, what the source was of where it came from?
There's a code in there, and sometimes I could, maybe not what company, Orbitz, but I do know that they either made it via the 800 number or online.
Okay. And is that something that's on the form, or is that something on some paperwork we don't have with us?
It would be on the reservation itself, which we don't have.
Okay. And then when Miss Arias called you, that was a follow-up based on a reservation that had already been made, correct?
No, I'm not aware. I don't know.
Okay, you don't know.
No, I didn't see her in the system earlier. I mean, I can't recall whether I saw her in the system or not, but I do know that she called me.
Okay, all right. And she called you to ensure that a vehicle would be ready, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you rent a car to a person, and we just looked at the form, somebody doesn't just show up with cash and take the car, right?
We don't accept cash.
Okay. My point is, I guess you need some ID?
You do?
Okay. And what do you need, a driver's license?
A valid driver's license and a major credit card.
Okay. Do you photocopy the driver's license?
We do not.
Okay. But you verify it?
We verify it
Okay.
in our system.
And you said a valid credit card as well. Do you
Oh,
run that,
yeah.
put a
get
deposit on
from-
it? How does that work before the person takes the car out of the
The
lot?
credit card is swiped
It
through a
is.
machine on the keyboard, and it is verified whether it has funds
or
in
if
there.
he had
or
curly
not.
hair, he could be
Do
the
the
dad
swipe.
from the
Is there a
70s
certain
show.
amount of funds that
The other
you might
dad.
check or in that regard, or how does that work?
It might have been different back there, but right now with a major credit card, it's either $200 or the amount of the rental,
Okay.
whatever's greater. They're gonna minimum $200. They're gonna hold.
And
Welcome
what about
home.
insurance? Do you verify someone's
No.
insurance, or how does that work?
We don't
Miss
offer
you.
insurance, we offer coverage. So we ask the customer and explain to them some of the coverages that we offer.
Okay. But if they decline the coverage, do they have to show you proof of insurance in some other form, like I'm with this company or that company?
They usually bring that.
Okay. Do you remember from this car rental whether or not Miss Arias did that or not?
I don't recall.
Okay. And you said you had at least a 15-minute interaction with her?
At least.
Okay. And was that when she provided you the information, her address, phone number, things of that nature?
Correct.
Okay. She wasn't hesitant about any of that?
Nope.
Okay. And then this interaction continued as it related to the type and color of the car that she wanted. Is that correct?
Yes, usually with my customers, like I said, I get to know them and I usually
Hi, Dave.
offer them different vehicles that I might have on my lot that might suit them.
Okay. And I believe you said, one of the things you said to me when we spoke a while back was that it was your custom and practice to kind of get to know your customer, speak with them a while, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Correct. Okay. And she wasn't evasive in any way to your conversation,
She
correct?
wasn't.
Okay. So the questions I have, Judge, thank you.
You did indicate that you do verify their driver's
There's nothing
license,
to
is that correct?
redirect on.
Yes, sir.
It's just
Let's take
foundational.
a look.
I know.
Here's the paper, here's the mileage, here's our conversation.
35.
And another 5-minute
Does this
witness
have a
that takes
place
too
for a
long.
driver's license on it?
But they are thorough. So
Do you
It
see that
does.
there? Let me show you another example.
yeah, sure. That's the only Twitter account that is associated with Great Lakes shipwrecks.
Take a look at Exhibit 241. Up here you have 4 last numbers of 7137. You see that up there?
I
I think we
do.
can do
And in front of you, you have a
1.25.
driver's
Maybe
license, right?
Yes, I do.
we can
And
do
does that
this
have,
entire
the last
30
4
minutes
digits of that
that's
driver's
left
license or what?
within this
It does.
stream.
And what are they?
7137.
So that's the driver's license that's involved, correct?
Correct.
And the name on that driver's license is who? That you have?
Jodi Arias, yeah, it matches contract.
Okay.
This could have been easily been done in direct.
Really? Who really cares? Like, come on.
Yeah,
At this,
come on. Give us interesting stuff. Jody, do a handstand.
I know.
No objection.
Flash the court.
Defense attorney is somewhat conservative in his dress code on day 8.
I know.
Let's take a look at it.
Yes, don't forget to like and all that YouTube thingies.
It's a little bit. There we go. And the address there, it's a P.O. Box 622.
You can have PO box as your
does a
address
person-
in the
Obviously, a
States.
person does not have to list the residential address where they live. They can just give you a P.O. Box and then rent something.
Restate your question.
In terms of renting, do you require that they give you a driver's license with a residential address? Or is a P.O. Box okay?
We're in a rural area, so PO boxes, especially at that time, were fine. They're trying to readjust that where they would need a physical address, but back then PO boxes were accepted.
And your cars that you rent, does California require them to have both a front and a back license plate?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Any questions from the jury for this witness?
Hey,
I see no
perfect.
hands. Thank you. You may step down.
Welcome.
Calls Detective Flores.
Or Detective Torres again?
Really?
Detective, you are still under oath. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
They are going back and forth with the same witnesses all the time in this trial. But
Esteban Flores.
they are thorough.
Yeah. I just can't wait for
And
Jody's.
yesterday, before we left, we were actually viewing an item, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
Let's see if we.
Oh, we're back to interview.
So ashamed that you won't come up with a story to try to hide it.
I was there the day when I didn't do drugs as well.
You haven't convinced me. I mean, I hope you can convince a jury, but I doubt it very seriously. Because there's no evidence of anybody else being there. Nobody.
Ah. Welcome to becoming a member, Lowlands, Angie. There are members only stuff on my channel, and there should be a link to Discord.
Other things to
Thank you so much for becoming
check
a
in the
member.
lab and other blood swabs and other things like that. And every time they call me and tell me, hey, we've checked this, points at Jodi. Hey, we've checked that points at Jodi. Nothing points at anybody else. Do you want to be truthful with me? If not, we can just end it now. And we'll just leave it the way it is.
I know that it's obvious I was there.
No, it's obvious that you committed a crime, that you hurt
There's
Travis.
no reason for
No,
me to hurt him.
it's not like that. It's. I know that you did this, and you refuse to tell me why.
There's no
You
reason.
refuse to tell me why. There's no reason somebody else would come in and do this to him. There's no motive whatsoever. We haven't found any.
What is my motive?
Jealousy, anger, fear, if you're being alone, angry at him for not keeping you in his life. I don't know. That's why I'm trying to figure it out. There are so many motives with you.
Yeah.
It's so
Too
classic.
many. We know you had a 25 auto. You guys reported it stolen. Covered the ammunition and it matches. We recovered a shell casing. Matches the ammunition. Prints, your blood, your hair, the motive.
Okay.
You were there.
I wasn't jealous.
Shame
or
you aren't here
anything.
to tell
I was
us.
a little bit envious he was
Um,
going to Cancun, but that wasn't the reason. Like I could go to Cancun. It's not cheap to go to Mexico. I mean, it's not expensive to go to Mexico.
He was probably standing above him when he was in the shower. And you shot him in the head.
I was kneeling down beside
Hey,
him.
Rachel.
Pictures.
And then you had a knife. And you stabbed him. Several times. Yes, you did. Jodi. Tell me the truth. Please. Or if you want, we can stop here. It doesn't matter. You've given me so much already. Why stop?
Hey, Rachel.
Do you want to? Do you want to continue? Do you want to tell me the truth? What did you do with the gun,
I never had it in my possession.
Jodi? You did.
Never. I don't have it.
Yeah, you don't have it. You know, people say that when they know of the gun. They've seen the gun. They touched the gun. You don't have it.
I saw the gun.
Yeah. Because you had it before. You've touched it. You've used it. I know you have.
I don't think I've ever even fired a gun. I've done bows and arrows, but not guns and water guns, yes, but not a real gun. And the gun that I got on Friday was never used.
So you're going to continue to tell me that you didn't do this to him?
Did not kill Travis.
I believe you did. I truly believe you did. And there's nothing showing that anybody else did this. Nothing.
Salvador is still trying to
So many
save
scenes,
Jodi.
so many investigations, and there's always some type of evidence left behind, no matter how careful somebody is. And in this case, there was evidence. Not pointing at anybody else. Just you. And that's what I have to go by. And that's what my report's going to say.
Okay. If I had planned to hurt him in any way, I'm not the brightest person, but I don't think I could stab him. I think I would have to shoot him continuously until he was dead, if that were my intention. And again, I bring up the gloves again, but I would have to wear gloves because, I'm not too worried about prints. I guess they're all over anyway, but I would never stab him. If I had it in me anywhere to kill him, the least I could have done was make it humane as possible, or quick, or something, I don't think killing is humane, so to speak. I don't mean it that way, I just mean,
I know what you
like, he was still alive.
mean. Yes, he was. He was alive for a while. And I knew that he'd been shot first and he was still alive and possibly tried to get away, maybe even tried to fight back.
I think he was in shock. I just remember waking up and...
But you didn't see him fight back or anything, did you? He just kind of collapsed there and...
No, he was here, outside of the shower.
And then you pulled him this way, you tried to get away with him, but then he couldn't go any further.
He said he couldn't move. He said he couldn't feel his
And that's the
legs.
last place you saw him. You said that he stopped and kind of collapsed right there. She was standing there and he was over here, and it just doesn't make any sense.
He does a good job.
He
There's
was
no
still,
doubt about
like,
the prosecution
able to
doing a
move
good
his
job.
life.
He's a little bit shouty for my taste,
I
but
guess he was all conscious.
he
of
knows
it
what
here,
he's
so
doing.
Still, he wasn't like on his leg or on his knees or on his feet. He wasn't walking. Yeah, I'm trying to think if when I got him from there, he was sort of using his legs, but he wasn't standing up.
If you're going to continue on that route, I don't think I'm going to go any further.
I don't remember what time I left, but
I gave you an opportunity. This was the only opportunity. Okay, and you gave me the information that you were there, but I knew you were there. And then you throw some story in that is not plausible. It just doesn't make any sense with the evidence that was there at the house. It doesn't make any evidence at all, or any sense at all.
oh no,
That
we're
evidence
doing
tells a story.
the other trial doesn't start
Nowhere
until 10:30 Arizona time.
Does that story that you told
So
me?
I have time between Jodi and that then.
Is that how you want to leave it?
Be busy
You
today.
want to stop here, and that's how you
Oh,
want to leave it?
legal voices showed up.
I
Nice.
know that I didn't take Travis.
Uh,
And I know
Well,
that
I
you
know
don't.
you did.
Like, I know you don't believe me.
I don't believe
nice. Welcome everybody
long
from
as I am
Legal
here.
Voices.
So,
Hello. Yeah. Vices Raid. Hello everybody. We are watching the infamous Jodi Arias trial. And at the moment, Jodi is interrogated. She started off the interrogation. We have seen parts of this interrogation for several days, for several of our streams. And she began not in a prison outfit, claiming complete innocence. But as the interviews went on, she started to admit, yes, I was there, but it was masked men or masked people who did it. It was masked people who did it. So more or less ninjas did it. Hey, Joe. Vice Raid. Nice. Very nice. And yeah, thank you all for showing up. So this is the infamous Jodi Arias trial, as I already said. While you are here, like, subscribe, do the YouTube things. And then go back and watch the other episodes me and David has done on this trial, because it is fascinating. and at times, I believe, I put an 18 plus on one episode, and then YouTube put another episode on 18 plus for me with Jodi Arias, because Jodi showed parts of her body was entered into evidence. Let's just say that. Hey, friendly, hello. But we have about 10 minutes. Then you will be sent off to my next stream, or to Viva Frey's stream with Solomon Anderson, where they will be discussing the Denny motion that Judge Schroeder denied, or some judge denied. So that will be extremely. Thank you so much. Let's go, Brandon, for your $5 super chat. And John Gordon, who has been a member for 1 month, asks, which episodes? I believe it is... I have to check here which one it was they put 18 plus on here. Hold on, it is...
Isn't it day 6?
I'll see here. Day 6, part 2. No? Yeah, 18 plus. Yeah, day 6, part 2 is Jodi being entered into evidence, not just entered. Yeah. So yeah, do the YouTube stuff while you're here. There's not much time, because at the top of the hour, Viva Frey has the interview with Solomon Anderson, where they will show the actual Denny motion. So the stream will end here. So today you are ping pong balls, bouncing between streams. Hopefully everybody can show up when my stream of the Arizona Mike versus Michael Turney trial starts again today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let's finish
this
interview.
And it's not there.
So you're just gonna let these two people get away with it?
There's not even any way to identify them.
She's blaming
One was male,
masked
one was female, they
men,
were taller than me.
ninjas,
Not
Murder
by a lot.
ninjas. That's what it is.
murder ninjas, yes. Who for some reason left her alive, because we all know that ninjas always leaves witnesses.
I guess I'd still like to say something to his family, but I don't think I have anything that could bring them comfort. Maybe I could write them a letter.
Well, you always have that opportunity to do that, so
Would they receive it?
I don't know.
And for you who
I don't
doesn't
mean
know,
would they accept it. I mean,
there's a
if they've made it to them, would they get it?
the thumbnails to
I don't
these
have the-
videos
I'm not
have
gonna provide you
always
that.
have a
I know.
slight
They know
change,
where you're gonna be.
and we
they
are
wanna
taunting
contact
our chat
That's
to
fine, I know
find
his
out
grandmother's
what
address,
those
and
changes
I
are.
could mail it, but I don't know if that's something.
Well, let me see if I can get someone to take it down. You're absolutely sure you want to leave it like this?
I don't know what else to say.
That's the brother and sister of Travis, the man Jodi Arias is convicted of killing.
That's it then. Okay, the next time I see you will probably be in Phoenix. Is that cool?
I have a choice.
Well, you're going there regardless, so it doesn't matter. But I was hoping that we could resolve this here. And it's obvious by what you're telling me, you don't want to resolve this here.
I just can't.
Well, at the beginning, you told me that you couldn't tell me because you couldn't tell me who they were because you didn't want your family to get hurt.
I can't
Okay.
let my family.
And now you're telling me you don't know who they are, and therefore it doesn't matter. So there's nothing you can tell me.
I can give you the
So
best
many
description.
inconsistencies that I don't even want to deal with right now.
I just don't want my family to get hurt.
They won't be hurt. You're hurting them right now by not telling me.
Thank you, Jodi.
That's what you're doing.
for
Okay.
doing all the linking. Short story. They got together. She fell for him completely. He was having her until he found an actual wife.
Yeah.
More or less.
It's pretty good though. As recap.
Mm. And the creaking is my new chair. I have had it for a month and it's already creaking.
No.
Yeah. Fun times. That, I believe, is Travis' mother. Okay, they are having a sidebar.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see if they have any.
Detective, it's been a while since you and I talked. We've seen.
Okay.
Jodi's mom.
Now it's the cross-examination, but we are just a couple of minutes away from Viva Phrase. Yeah, I'll see if I can. On my end, that is the link to Viva Phrase. And it's pinned on top of the chat. And David already has it pinned on the top of his chat. The redirect will be to my next stream. So go to pick up both and push the notification button to when my stream goes live. Yes, this is the Jodi Arias Trial. And it has been a roller coaster. And it's a great way to see and compare modern trials to how trials were 10 years ago. Because it is a vast difference in how the prosecution actually had evidence. And David forgot to change accounts. Oh,
David.
yeah. And yeah, so become a member at David, and in his Discord there are the pictures, or you can go back to episode 6, day 6 part 2, and there they are, the whole lot of her.
You get to see everything.
Yeah, and Travis, but yeah, Jodi was really opening up. I have nothing to hide. Yeah, we noticed.
We noticed. Gosh.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for showing up. I know. Thank you to Jeff for sending you over here. And sadly, it will be cut short because of the Viva Frey stream. But yeah, I will see you in the Viva Frey chat. Then I hope I will see a lot of you in my trial stream that begins in roughly half an hour. And thank you, Jamie, for substituting for David.
Anytime.
Yeah, so I'm going to play the outro and then I'm going to send you all off because I can see that, oh, they postponed with 13 minutes. But now I already have a good cut here. So I will send you over to my stream right after this. But that will still begin in half an hour. So you can choose Viva Frey or me. Okay. Bye.
Bye.